Now, a lot of what we do nowadays involves the internet, social media, and mobile apps, from communicating to loved ones and peers to getting news and information and even doing business. Most of these happen in the digital space now. But how can we sustain this and thrive in the new digital normal? Well, that's the focus of this year's Digital Congress, or DigiCon, which happens from October 11th to 15th. The biggest digital event of the year will also see the return of the Boomerang Awards, which celebrates excellence and effectiveness in the digital space. Now, joining us to tell us more is Henry Monet-Muñoz. He is a board member at the Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines, or IMAP, the host of the annual event. Good morning, Henry, and thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning, Paolo. Thanks so much for having us.
Such a pleasure. Now, Henry, we call this year's celebration as DigiCon Pop 2021. It's interesting why you've chosen the theme Pop. Let's talk about that. Why Pop?
Sure. So, I think just taking a step back, IMAP tries to be at the center, really at the center of innovation in digital marketing in the Philippines. And so we consider our mission to keep not just educating, but, equipping business and professionals with the right tools to navigate the digital marketing environment. And, what we really saw in the last kind of 12 to 18 months, obviously, is just how massa digital has become. It's no longer specifically for certain socioeconomic groups or certain industries or certain age groups. It's really incredibly pervasive. It's affecting the way we shop, we eat, we take care of our health, the way we get educated and we learn. And so the theme this year is really about how popular and massa digital has become.
Right. So, Henry, what can we expect? I mean, there are different programming tracks and lots of keynote speakers. I looked over your list, some really big names in there. And it's going to be a pretty amazing event. Let's talk about it.
Sure. So, it usually takes a whole year to prepare. So incredibly excited to share. We have, 70 speakers, and obviously, the networking sessions, the workshops, many of these things you can expect. But in terms of the speakers, some of the highlights include Scott Galloway, one of the world's 50 best business professors. You've got Adam Grant, who's best-selling author of Think Again. You've got Rory Sutherland, who's the vice chairman of Ogilvy in the UK and an expert in consumer behavior. And since Gen Z is so incredibly important, you've got our very own Bretman Rock, who'll be bringing his energy and his insights into the conference. And so the conference is over 5 days, and the speakers will come at different times. And then on the second day, we have DigiPop. And then on the fifth day, we close with Boomerang, the Boomerang Awards.
Right. It's a very broad spectrum of speakers there. Now, you talked about the Boomerang Awards. Let's talk about that. It went on hiatus in 2020, but now it's back, louder, bolder, and more inclusive than ever. Very pop indeed. What's new this year?
Sure. So, for those who aren't as familiar with the Boomerang Awards, it's always about looking at not just celebrating campaign effectiveness, but also understanding how campaigns can become effective. And so that's why this year the Boomerang Awards has added a new category called Tech Innovation, which will allow the judges to measure more accurately the use of technology in having successful campaigs. And that's incredibly important, right? It's not just about being creative, it's about having impact and measuring that impact. There's also two new special categories. So there's the Blue Impact Boomerang, which is around recognizing campaigns that are people first through mobile ingenuity and who were able to leverage Facebook as their main platform. And then we're very excited to bring the Purple Boomerang Award, which focuses on gender equality and women empowerment in advertising. This is done in partnership with Investing in Women, which is a wonderful initiative of the Australian government, focusing on promoting gender equality and giving the rightful recognition to the economic empowerment for women. And so this is an award that looks at not just brand campaigns that feature women, but also that address stereotypes that would typically limit women's economic participation.
Absolutely. It's very timely, and I think certainly about time. What brought about the focus on women empowerment?
So, I think, obviously different IMAP members feel very strongly about gender equality and women's rights, but IMAP as a whole also believes that it's one of the things that we stand for. And advertising and marketing plays a huge role because it's both a reflection of a society, but it also shapes the way people evolve in terms of their consumer behavior, their workplace behavior. And so it's incredibly important to address, the tendency that we still have in 2021 of having very one-dimensional gender portrayals and odds. Essentially, women are homemakers and men are the sole breadwinner. And first of all, that just doesn't reflect the reality of the Philippines economy today. And it absolutely does not reflect where society needs to go towards. And so that's the role that we hope to play. And I think that's why we felt very aligned in joining forces with Investing in Women in creating this.
All right, awesome stuff. Very exciting things awaiting DigiCon fans out there. I'm sure a lot of people are, chomping at the bit and frothing at the mouth, so to speak. Looking forward to this. Thank you so much, Henry, for joining us this morning here on New Day. That was Henry Monet-Muñoz from IMAP.